Hey everyone! Time for another 10-minute Tuesday, and tonight I want to talk about setting goals. And this is normally a topic that I would save for my business group that I have for Young Living, but tonight I just thought it was relevant because I talk a lot about physical health and wellness, but I haven't really hit on having options for mental wellness, staying mentally fit, and how to just feel good about what you're doing on a daily basis. So I came off of a 5K last week and had all these great inspirations in my brain. Some of them were super cheesy one-liners, but people say them for a reason. And so I kind of made a list and did an impromptu talk with my group right after the 5K when I was exhausted. But I just want to talk about my whole experience setting a goal to run a 5K as a total non-runner. I am pretty in shape. I just have a very small, petite, lean build. I can generally lift pretty, heavy things for my size, do things that are physically taxing for long periods of time. So anyway, but I'm not a runner. And so to be a runner, I feel like you have to have a certain mental acuity that I do not have yet, and I really don't desire to have, but we'll see how this goes. But I decided to do a 5K about, literally was like 7 or 8 weeks ago, because one of my sister-in-laws, who just now turned 20, said that she was going to run a 5K at the Young Living Convention, and it's a run for a cause. So the money, the entry fee, the $35 entry fee, goes towards stuff that the Young Living Foundation does, which is like disaster relief. They're over in Uganda. They're rebuilding houses in Nepal. They have like a partnership with Soul Hope. They also work with African Hearts. They have like 7 different branches right now. And so all the money goes straight towards helping people in need that are around the world, which I think is pretty awesome. And so I figured, okay, I'll just go ahead and do the 5K as well, because even if I'm totally horrible at it, at least the money is going towards somebody that I can help, which I think is really awesome. But I set out and I said, okay, I have to do this in 7 weeks. I have to train for a 5K in 7 weeks. And if you're like me and you're not a runner, how do you just go about training for something that you completely are unprepared for? But the first step is setting a goal and committing to something. And so this goes for no matter what kind of things you're doing in your life. This could be a health and wellness goal. This could be like losing weight, or even just drinking more water, or traveling somewhere, doing something that you always wanted to do. So it can be kind of, whatever goal that you have, something that's been on your bucket list for quite a while. I would say just commit to doing it, whatever that may be. So we need to be realistic when we make this goal. We need to commit to it for sure mentally, or else we're not going to make much progress. But we also want to push past our normal comfort zone. So I've been doing a lot of things over the past few months and the last year, especially related to a couple of my home businesses that are not exactly comfortable for me. I started doing these videos as just a way of sharing some of my knowledge and help on different things, hoping that it would help out somebody else. So I would just say, push yourself a little bit, because this is what life is all about, trying to grow yourself as a person, as an individual, and you might just be surprised at the results. And maybe that's why people don't actually commit to things more than they do, because they might be scared about what'll happen after they achieve something that they've never achieved before. So set those goals, commit to it. My second note here is to make a plan. So with this 5K, James and I set up a training schedule. It was kind of like running and walking in intervals. We said we're going to be doing these things on these nights and resting on these certain days. And we actually stuck to that plan really, really well for maybe 3 weeks, I'd say. Then, of course, life happens and you back off, or you get distracted, or something else just comes up. And that's okay. That's actually my number 3 point, is it's okay to take a break, but make a plan for what it's going to take to reach your goal. So for me, related to the 5K, I was like, I know I need to have a certain amount of stamina if I actually want to run the majority of this race. But make a list, set up a calendar. You actually know what works for you and what doesn't. So I am a total analytical brain. I like to see charts. I like to see to-do lists. I like to cross things off because it just makes me feel so good when I do it. And so set up whatever system that you need to for whatever goal that you're setting. So for us in running, I had a calendar that said run on this day, and I was able to cross it off when I was done with that day's task, which was awesome. But it's okay to take a break. It's okay to, if you're on some kind of diet goal, it's okay to eat something that you had committed to not eating for a while. Just get back on it. Just because you kind of, fell off the wagon a bit, doesn't mean you can't just give yourself a little grace in the situation and point yourself back in the right direction and steer back towards your goal. So get your bearings, restart. Getting to the finish line is actually a lot of times more important than how long it's going to take you to get there. My fourth point here is to go with a buddy. So during our training for our 5K goal, James and I actually trained together, which was really helpful because we were able to cheer each other on and push ourselves, keep ourselves accountable, which a lot of times, a lot of us might set goals in our lives that nobody is actually going to keep us accountable for. So when I first started these videos, I made myself put up a post that said, hey guys, I'm starting a video series tomorrow and I hope you'll watch it. And that meant that I couldn't back out because everybody on my friends list saw that. And if I hadn't have put up a post the very next day, somebody probably would have commented, hopefully, and said, hey, I didn't see a video. I thought you're going to be starting to do those. So it's always great to have an accountability partner. So whether that's your spouse, your friend, a coworker, even your kids, your sisters, sister-in-laws, have somebody that knows what your goal is and they can be a cheerleader for you. You can also help instruct them on what kind of support you're going to need. So if you're somebody who needs a constant reminder not to drink a Diet Coke at lunch, have one of your coworkers say, hey, now just remember your goals. They don't have to be nagging you and saying, hey, don't drink that Coke, that's a really bad idea. But tell them what kind of support that you need, what kind of reminders you need, what kind of encouragement works for you and what doesn't. So it's always great to have somebody there to cheer you on. And when I was running the 5K, my little sister-in-law, she was right next to me. We were just feeding off of each other's energy. Plus there were so many other people that were running it with us, all in bright pink shirts. And we just rocked some 80s music. We set our own little pace. And when one of us was getting a little tired, we just kind of check on the other one, say, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? We'd say, oh, I'm doing great, thanks. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep going. And so we just kept running, which was awesome. And I didn't think that I would honestly be able to last. The furthest I got in my training with my 5K lead up in the 7 weeks was to run a full mile. I never actually got to running a full 3 miles at once because I didn't actually think I'd be able to do that. But during the 5K day, because of the energy and the people around me and the support system that I had, when we were all going for the same goal, I just felt so motivated to finish it and to run. And so I only took 2 breaks, which I was blown away and so proud of myself for. But it's always great to have somebody going in the same direction as you, at least one person, if not more, in your support system. So whoever that is for you, reach out to as many people as you need to get that accountability and support system around you. And then my fifth and final point is just kind of like a little funny one. Use certain things that help motivate you. So for me, the music was awesome, having a music as a motivator. So if you're like me and sometimes you just need to get down to work or get a task off your list, maybe it's like cleaning the house or doing the dishes, doing a fitness goal, especially running. Some of that stuff can be really monotonous, and so having music in the background for me is like an awesome plus and just keeps me motivated. So put on some jams and get down to business. And so that's what really helped me out. So those are all of my 5K life lessons that I learned, but I have just decided that I am also committing myself to doing a 5K at least once a year every time I go to the Young Living Convention because it was such a great time for me. I had some awesome experiences there, seeing all the people that were supporting the same thing that I was. And if I can run a 5K once a year, like what else can't I do? You know, I felt so proud of myself in such a way that I had set that goal and I had set a timeline, and then when I accomplished it, I felt amazing. So I just encouraging you guys today to look at what you currently have going on. What kind of goals are you setting in your life, whether that's family stuff or fitness stuff or traveling or your business goals. and see what you want to accomplish by, you know, the end of the month or the end of the quarter or the end of the year. And I would love to hear about what all those are, what all the type of things are that you guys are setting goals for this year, and just chat about those, and would love to hear that and encourage you in that as well. So share those with me. I would love to hear about all of those. And next week, I will be on again with another 10-Minute Tuesday, and I'll just figure out what that topic's going to be next Tuesday. See you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.